Hey, hey, hey. You know what time it is.
Time for the Heart to Heart Journey to Unconditional Love podcast.
That's right. And I'm your host, the late Bloomer. That is my co-host, Harlan Brown. And Harlan Brown, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's
What's
up?
going on? What it do? What it do? How
I
are you
don't know what
today?
it do. That's what I'm asking you. What it do? What it do? What it do?
It does what it does.
It does what it does. So what we doing? 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 What's going
Oh,
on? You know, I'm
continue
messing around with the
talking.
music. I'm sorry. I'm
You just distracted all in the
My
music
focus,
and
yeah, my
everything.
focus is a little discombobulated today, but it's all good because we going back to this. We just gonna continue this. What we're talking about, heart to heart conversation, just
Let's do
talking
it.
five. That's the Fab Five. We good. You know what I'm saying? Five is a good number. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? So anyway, I don't know. We were just vibing and we were just talking. So what was we just talking about earlier today? What were we talking about earlier today?
Okay, this is what we was talking about earlier today, which was a little
Okay, why are you laughing?
because because of the way we answered it immediately. It was like, okay, that's
I'm sorry, audience. We gonna let y'all in on this. So
yeah, we're gonna let you in
sometimes we
on it.
just
But
vibe and we just talk.
I just want to read what was written down because a lot of times we talk and we just freelance and we like, hey, write this down because this could be a good idea, right?
Okay.
So the thing that I wrote down, and I'm looking back through my notes, and it says, do you say what you need and how do you do that?
Do
Right?
you say what you need and how do you do that?
Right.
Okay. Well, you just ask.
There you go.
All
That's
right,
why
here it is. As we end all our podcasts, trying to do something will keep you in your same place. But when you actually do something, your place has no limitations. I am your host. Let me stop. Yo, I had to do that on you, man. Because we take so much stuff for granted. Sometimes some answers are simple, but this one is really not. And what we were talking about, a lot of times, couples, there's a fear factor of why they don't ask their spouse or talk to their spouse about what they need or what
right.
they are looking for, and what has changed with them so that they could get a deeper connection with them and just asking for something. And a lot of times what happens is, um, we found out in these relationships that people are fearful to ask their spouse for what they need, and I found that to be crazy.
Well, you have to really look at it at this point because of the fact that like I said before in other podcasts, like this is not a lot of people's first time in something serious or a good long lasting relationship. So there are things that we unintentionally, and I'm not saying that we do this intentionally. I think sometimes it's really unintentional, and we don't really realize that we're doing it.
Yeah,
That maybe these are things that came up in the past, right? And it was rejected, and maybe it was rejected so harsh that
yeah,
that scar still sits there. And so even when you're in a new relationship, it could be something as simple as I don't know, like we talked about little things like giving somebody a hug every time you see them, or something like that, and
yeah,
a little thing like saying, like I'm scared to say it, but you don't hug me anymore, right? And why is
yeah,
that such a fearful thing to say? Because maybe at one time before when you said it, it was considered petty, and why you making that a big deal, and you like so it leaves those little scars that makes you a little hesitant than you would have been in your
yeah.
the first time around to
Yeah.
say like this bothers me, but now it's just like I don't want to start no I don't
Well,
want
I'm
no
gonna say two things with that. The first thing is, yeah, please leave that from what happened before with the
yeah.
other person before. Give the new person a chance. Um, let them act the way that they act because they are two different people. They may have some same tendencies, they may do some things the same, but they are still two different people, have two different makeups, and just what have you. But what I'm gonna say to this is, what I found very interesting about this topic, and talking to some people, they weren't just scared. They weren't just in fear of asking. They were petrified, and that's a deep, like, harsh word to use. But they were petrified. They were like, I can't. I just, I don't want to rock the boat. You know how we talk about rocking the boat. I don't want to
Exactly.
cause no issues. I can do without. I can get it myself. I'll be all right if I don't get this or I get that. But
Exactly.
to
I
me,
don't want them to think of me in a different, in a different light.
yeah,
What kind of reflection would that be on me if I actually ask for help, or if I ask for this? Would they think that I'm something else, or with, like, yeah,
I
petrified is
know
the word.
it's perplexing, right? Because
Yeah,
to me, let me just say this: if you can't talk to your spouse and you're in fear, you're petrified, you don't want to rock the boat, you can't really express yourself, you're walking on eggshells, you're doing things that, like, you're tiptoeing around the issues and not really talking freely, with that. You don't feel comfortable in your own home. You don't
yeah,
feel comfortable when you have a conversation. You don't want to bring up something to get him riled up or get her riled up, because they gonna go off on me. They gonna, like we said yesterday, break on me. And I don't even know if people even use that terminology anymore, but they're gonna break on me. So so I want to say this. If those are the things that you're having issues with, it's time to reevaluate your relationship. And I will never tell anybody to leave their relationship. I'm saying reevaluate it, because you should never
ever.
feel and be in fear or petrified to talk to your significant other, spouse, partner, fiance, boyfriend, girlfriend, none of that. Because if you have that, you're setting a precedent for the rest of your life to live in fear.
Absolutely.
Let me
And
say
I
that
wanted
again. You
say it again because I
cannot,
want to add something to that. Go ahead.
you cannot live your life in fear, being petrified to talk to your significant other. So go ahead, go ahead. Let me see what your take is on this, Harlem
No,
Brown.
I'm on you on point with that. What I wanted to say about that is, a lot of times we have fear of something that we never even voiced, right? We're thinking about what we heard the last time. So you never gave the opportunity to get that opinion from, or get that out to the spouse that you with now. You're so busy guarding everything to try to put up these walls to make sure that
Yeah.
nothing is disturbed, that you didn't even give the person a chance
Keeping the
to,
peace. You think
right.
you're
You didn't,
keeping the peace,
there's
but
no
you're
peace.
enabling. You're
Yeah,
enabling the environment a toxic. You're enabling a toxic environment. You're enabling
absolutely.
a toxic environment. You're not keeping the peace. It's making it worse. You're adding fuel to the fire. To really tell you the truth,
Absolutely.
and I don't mean to cut you off. I'm just so passionate about this one.
No, it's true, because you see it all the time. And people actually break up over something that was never even addressed because they never had the courage to address it. And I've
Yeah,
seen it 1,000 times where you may run into your ex at something and y'all actually sit down and be openly honest about stuff and
yeah.
realize, like, if we'd have did this like 5 years ago, we wouldn't be where we are
We wouldn't
today.
be where we are.
You understand what I'm saying? So I just really feel like a lot of times the fear is definitely not even real, because what are you afraid of if you never even said it or you never even expressed it? So stop using what responses you may have gotten in the past, or the responses that you think you're going to get. How
Yeah,
about give the person an opportunity to respond to that before you automatically think that this is a negative thing or this is going to be a bad thing?
yeah,
Like, you didn't give the person a chance. So
yeah. But
fear is just literally your story that you told yourself.
yeah, but a
That's it.
lot of times it's not even that situation there, Harlem Brown. It's a situation where the person is the person who they're talking to, and they're fearful of that person, and
That's
it,
not
it,
good.
it it's not good at all. And what are you fearing? What are you so afraid of that you can't go to express how you feel? Whatever happened to safe environments? Whatever happened to you, the partnership? Whatever happened to you getting the respect? And what's I gave you some words to write down. What were some of those words I gave you to write down? Because I knew I was going to forget a couple of them.
True. Well, what you gave me was true, complete, divine love.
Right. But I'm talking about when we were talking on the phone.
Oh, earlier.
Yeah, yeah. I gave you some specific words because I knew I was going to.
Mean,
Yeah.
inconsistent,
Yes.
not engaged,
Yes.
not into you,
Yes.
not respectful.
Yes. Yeah.
Those.
Those right there, that's what you're getting. And if you have that in your relationship, one, there's no safe space with those words. And
No.
again, on this podcast, and again, let me say this before I even go into that. We're having a heart to heart.
Absolutely.
All we're doing is having a heart to heart with those who need to hear it, want to hear it, maybe didn't really want to hear it, but they're hearing it. We just want to reach out to you to let you know that find that space, that safe space. Stop living in fear. Stop it. Stop it, because it's not you're enabling a toxic environment, and you never want to be a part of that. You want to have a safe space where you can express yourself freely, not as you're a prisoner in your own home. You
Right.
don't want to walk on eggshells. You don't want to live in fear. You don't want to do that. And I think this is a good segue. You think we should drop that scripture on them now? Because this is a great scripture.
Yeah.
And we're so adamant about this one, and we're so passionate about this one. We really want to get to the audience. We always want to get to the audience on any given day. But for this topic, I've seen this so many times, and I see so many women and men. Don't think it's just women. Women and men are living
Yeah.
in fear to talk to their spouse. So let me get the scripture on this one. This one is 1 John 4:18. And can you read that for the audience, Harlem Brown?
Absolutely. There is no fear in love because perfect love drives out fear. Because fear has to do with punishment. The one who fears is not made perfect in love.
Oh my goodness. Now
It's
I can
perfect, and
actually
it's the perfect scripture. It's the
I
perfect.
can actually play the music and get the outro, because that sums it all up. There is no fear in love. We're going to stop right there. There is no fear in love. You should never be in fear in love. You know why? Because perfect love, unconditional love, what we talk about on this journey, this heart to heart journey to unconditional love, because perfect unconditional love drives out fear.
Right.
So there's no room for fear if you are loving in a loving relationship. There's no fear.
There's no conditions.
There's no
There's
condition. And the scriptures also telling you why? Because fear has to do with punishment.
right.
Is your significant other punishing you for what? They are not the judge and jury.
Right.
I don't care. You can respect them as the man of the household, as the woman of the household, however you run your household. They still don't get dominion over you that way, where you have to live in fear. Because if you are living in fear, you're being punished. That
And
person is punishing you.
and how could that person be loving and respectful, and what are some of the words that we
All the
that
words I said, right?
right? And how could you be engaged, or how could you not, how could you be loving? Like, I'm just using opposite of what we just said. How could a person be really into you, and how could the person be respectful if anything that you do that you're afraid to be punished for it? Like,
Yeah.
why are we punishing each other? And I mean, when I say punishing, there are things that you know that you do just to make your spouse feel uneasy, right?
Yeah.
So if you're punishing them in that way just to make them feel uneasy, with small things, then you're not creating an environment for perfect love, because then they can't, then that's where the fear starts to set in, right? It starts to set in with the little stuff.
But check this out. Look how they put the onus in the Bible, and God puts the onus on the person. The one who fears is not made perfect in love. So
No.
the one who fears is the one who's not made perfect in love, because
Right.
you shouldn't be fearing at all. I'm gonna say
Nothing.
that again. You should not be fearing at all. I don't care who the person is. I don't care who your significant other is. I don't care. If it was Jesus himself, he still would not have you in fear.
Nope.
Period.
Nope.
So please, audience, please, if you are in this situation right now, pray, read this scripture, have that heart to heart, that rock the boat conversation without fear with your significant other.
Free yourself. Free
Free
yourself
yourself,
for being
please.
under an umbrella of,
Take them eggshells off the floor.
yes,
Oh, please do all of this, because it, it I'm never going to tell you to leave. But if that happens and it continues to happen, why are you there?
and
What
God
else could
forbid,
there be that's keeping you and holding you to stay there?
and
And
God
it could
forbid
be
there's
money, it could
children
be this,
involved.
it could be security, it could be all of that. But where is this? This comes where fear, dignity, respect, you're not getting any of that from your significant other if you are living in fear.
Exactly.
You're being punished, and you don't deserve to be punished. No matter what you did, you don't deserve to be punished in
No,
that situation.
no.
I'm sorry, Harlem Brown. This one really hits home with me, and I'm really animated, and I'm so sorry I'm animated about this one.
No, because
But
you have, there's a passion in this, because you really have to understand what it's like. Like, you have to understand that living in fear, like the Bible is telling you, like, you don't have to be fearful of anything. So when you live under this umbrella of fear, not only are you causing yourself distress, and you're living in a space where nothing could ever be wrong. Like, then you become this perfectionist. Everything has to be perfect. And God forbid you got some kids involved, right? Because
yeah,
now the kids are,
the
you're
feeling
teaching
of
your
that.
children how to be fearful, how to
Yes,
walk on eggshells, never to
yes,
speak up for themselves. There's so, this is like a snowball effect that ends up affecting everybody around you. And
yes.
that's why God is telling you there's no fear in love. When
None.
you love someone, you love them unconditionally, no matter what it is. We can sit down and have a conversation about it. We can sit down and talk about it, no matter what. It's
Yeah,
not that you will be punished because you
yeah,
brought up something that I'm uncomfortable with. I may
yeah.
be uncomfortable with it, but guess what? I'm more comfortable talking about something in love than I am of talking, or I am
Right.
than sitting in fear in it.
And
And
don't
not,
get me wrong, you can agree to disagree in that conversation,
yes,
but it's respect. You're getting the respect. You're not talking in fear.
right,
You're relaxed. You're having a loving, safe space conversation. It may get heated, but it's in love, and it's not to punish you. It's not to put you in fear. It's so that you can express yourself, to let your significant other knows who you are. And then they double down. I like to double down on it. The one who fears is not made perfect in love. And if you
yes,
want to, if you say you love your significant other, and y'all say y'all love each other, there should be no fear. There should be no punishment. There should be a safe space conversation every time, no matter how animated it gets, no matter how heated it gets. Because again, we're human. We're going to get that, but not out of fear. It's out of just day to day
passion.
living.
It's the passion, it's the
Yes,
love, and it's all of those things. And that's why I really feel like when you understand what love is, there's no, you're not going, there's no fear in, I'm gonna, like, I need to be passionate about what I say.
Yeah.
I'm not worried that the person that I'm talking to is like, like,
Right. Right.
it's not that. It's just like, okay, I can see that you're really passionate about that. Let me let you get that out. Let me hear
Get
what you
that
have
out.
to
Yeah.
say, because
Absolutely.
I need to respect the fact that this right here is important to you. This right
Yep.
here is something
Yep.
that you really need me to hear. Right. So it's not that I'm scared that something is going to happen, or I'm scared that, you know, I can't say it because the level of passion that might come from it. No, like it's all, that's all about being respectful enough to say, hey, we got to talk about this. Like,
Yeah.
this is
Talk
like,
about it. Yeah.
we going in this one.
Yeah.
So
And I know, look,
yeah,
I know we're running out of time. My time is
okay.
up. I'm gonna give you the last words because I know if I say something else, I don't want to offend
Now I'm gonna
anybody.
need you to
I don't
say what you
I
said
don't want
earlier.
I just want people not to be in fear when they're talking to their significant other. I just need you not to be in fear. I need you to be relaxed. I don't need you walking on eggshells. I don't need you being petrified, because that's the word, petrified. And that's the word that was used for me when we were talking about this. And when I said petrified, I'm like, that's harsh. Yeah, I really feel petrified. And I felt for that person. And all I could do is pray for that person. All I could do is give them this scripture, because that's that's real. This is real life, and that's why we're having a heart to heart. This is somebody's life that we're talking about. So, any audience, if y'all are out there, please pray for those who are going through this. Pray for
Right.
them to be delivered from this, from the fear of talking to their spouse, from walking on the eggshells, from being petrified. And I've never reached out. I never asked you guys to do this, but y'all been, especially my day oneers and everybody who's been with us, and I thank you for your support. But please pray for these people, because this is real, and it's more people than not who are going through this issue.
Yes.
They're
Yes.
going through fear. They are petrified to talk to their spouse when they just want to just ask them and tell them what they need.
Right.
Tell them what they want. Tell them how they feeling. And they
Yes.
can't even do that because they are so fearful of getting the backlash of their significant other. So that's why I didn't want to go, because I know I had so much to say with that. But please,
It's important.
I am truly going to give you the last word now. So go ahead and
Well,
you can have the last word.
my last word is going to be your last words, because you told me to write this down. And it says, true, complete, divine love eliminates the fear of judgment or punishment.
Yeah. If you truly love somebody, there's no fear, there's no punishment. It's divine, it's perfect, it's love.
Yeah.
And the one who fears is not made in that perfect love. And if you guys you're not perfect people, but the love that you have is perfect. The
Right.
love that you have, because it never leaves. It's everlasting. That's why that is perfect, because
Right.
it never leaves. You're going to always love that person some way,
Exactly.
especially if you thought enough to make that person your significant other. So
Hmm.
treat them with the respect. Treat them with dignity. Treat them with everything that you have in your heart, so that they can have, so that you all, both of y'all, it goes both ways, so you can have that respect and that safe space to have the conversations that you need to move on and move forward in your relationship. So,
Absolutely.
so I'm gonna end on that note, as I end all my podcasts, trying to do something will keep you in your same place. But when you actually do something, your place has no limitations. I am your host, Delay Bloomer. That is my co-host, Harlan Brown. And we see you next week.
See you next
Yes, yes,
week.
yes, yes, yes.